Well, hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some more X4 Kingdom End. So where were we? Well, we're exploring we're exploring, it's not Kingdom End, is it? It's some other place, but we've come across a derelict Boron ship. We're part of the expedition. We've just gone in and we've scanned a signal and now we're going back to our car.
Discoverer, Vanguard.
Which I'm going to need to not crash into. But if I go, oh, match speed, can I do that? No, because what we need to do is request docking permission. All the little quirks of this game that you got to remember. There we go. Oh, hey, I'm back, baby! Alright. Now what do we do? Let's pull up the mission manager. Into the new system. Open briefing. Explore newly reconnected system. Okay. We can do that.
Explorer, you have an unidentified ship on an intercept trajectory.
Uh-oh!
This is our first contact in the newly opened network.
Oh yeah.
We have no idea of who they are, or their intentions. Investigate, and if possible make contact, but maintain vigilance.
Oh my! Aliens!
Hey, it's a Boron!
Please, do not be afraid. I shall disengage my armament.
Hey, thank you. I like the Boron, they're really friendly.
I am so pleased to make your acquaintance.
Yeah, right.
Incredible!
What is this? Was that Dot in the last video? See, that's...
Are you receiving this?
Is it like a vector indicator? Because when I throttle off, it flicks.
What did you say?
Oh, I don't know.
A boron? Truly? A living, buoyant boron?
Yeah, man.
Are my ocular sensor organs deceiving me? Allow me to introduce myself. I am Bozo Tar, and I can barely recall another boron face. I have been riven from my people for that long. Will you please deign to share your time with me?
They're so polite.
I am Mila T.
Oh, you got a little spacesuit.
I would be delighted to spend time with you.
As appointed delegate of the Alliance of the Word, please allow me to extend my greetings to you and your people. It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Mila T.
I do not have any official capacity as such, but it is marvelous to be seeing actual people.
Yeah, you're just a dude.
Connected gates.
How cool's their car? How cool's his car?
Has the gate reopened? Are we connected once more? Oh, I knew it would have to happen eventually. What joyous news!
I can see you in there.
Momentous news indeed. Although we are less than clear on how this has occurred.
Hello.
There was speculation that the Boron triggered the gate reinitialization. Messages from your scientists indicated that they were working on such a task.
Yeah, I don't know what these dots are.
Direct us towards Kingdom End.
See this? I can't point at them because they're reacting to my mouse.
That is marvelous news. It has been decades since we were cut off. We have heard nothing in
Why do I have these dots on my screen? What is this crap?
The connection with Nishala has been indescribably distressing for all of us.
Oh, some sort of intercept.
Is in profound turmoil. To meet a fellow Boron after all these years is an incandescent joy. But to find that you, too, are cut off from the homeworld is a misery.
More than
oh, that's tragic.
Sotar. We have all mourned this loss.
But without access to Kingdom End, your Queen and Parliament, how do you govern yourselves?
After the severance, there was a period of chaos.
Right.
Until a royal steward was appointed.
Oh.
I have had dealings with him. It would be my pleasure to make an introduction.
This species is the best, man. How can you not like them?
Discussed with your leadership.
Follow me, you cavalcade of curious creatures.
Nice.
A Boron society not headed by a queen? This is somewhat hard to fathom.
Fair enough.
Indeed, Bosotar.
But hey, you have to adapt to changing times, mate.
You understand the pain of separation. I doubt other species appreciate the biological depth of our harmonious societal interconnection. It was worse than it is now. It used to be that all our systems were isolated. Severed, not just from Kingdom End, the Queen and Homeworld Nishla, but also from each other.
Right.
Fortunately, several of our systems reconnected to each other eventually, but none received word from home. Reorganization became a necessity.
Right, yes.
The provinces adrift, as we call ourselves, were only ever intended to be temporary.
Provinces adrift.
Under the Royal Steward, it has grown into a comprehensive governing body.
How cool is this story?
But some of us have never given up on Kingdom End. Your communication with the homeworld is momentous in the extreme. Not a soul in these systems has
So
found
this
evidence of where the Kingdom
this separate
End
system
exists.
of planets or whatever hasn't been able to contact their homeworld either. So we've sort of accidentally found these poor refugee types.
Unknown object.
Yep. Looks like a jump gate to me, Sharon. Well, I'm going max chickens now. Let's see how much of a dime I can stop on. What if I even autopilot?
Autopilot engaged.
The autopilot will stop me, he said confidently. Sort of confidently.
Autopilot disengaged.
Yeah, there we go.
Goodness. Someone from beyond our realm.
Yep.
Surely this indicates that our reports are correct.
Oh wow. This
The
dude
one
sounds
Boron
about as
has
serious as they
resumed
get.
its function and brought our province into alignment with our erstwhile allies. You must realize what this means. All the resources of the Commonwealth are now within reach. At long last, a chance to end the shortages.
Okay.
Pick up the pace.
Or maybe they're not all just nice. He seems a little cranky. Hello.
I must warn you, the provinces adrift are not awash with the luxuries of the old kingdom.
Right, no, you got to make do
The
with
pain
what
of
you've got.
settlements has been constant, but our economy has also suffered. The shortages of essential goods have cut deeply. Reconnection with the network may alleviate some of these issues, at least.
Yeah, right. Out of 2-ply toilet paper, I understand.
Entering system. Barren shores.
Wow, look at this. Boron defense platform. Oh, let's not mess with that.
Piranha.
Piranha. You mean piranha? Okay. Okay. Let's go. Barren Shores is next door to the Watchful Gaze. Oh, what happened there?
Autopilot.
Let's just put on autopilot, eh? The autopilot knows what it's doing, maybe. We might be able to observe it and figure out, you know, when it stops. Maybe I'll learn from that. Wow, look at this color over here. Oops, wrong button. My bad.
Hey, Lindsay, you bring us guests, outsiders, with a fleet no less. What have you been up to?
Autopilot.
More than that, Royal Steward, I bring momentous news. The fleet, this Paranid-led fleet, it came from the Dormant Gate in Watchful Gaze. They have communicated with Kingdom End. They have no Kingdom End gate, but they have communication.
How pretty is this planet?
To the network once more.
My word, the...
Look at this dude, he's got, peroxide tips. He's very cool.
May I?
Yes, of course. There is so much to discuss, so much to consider.
Yeah,
Royal
right?
Steward, would it be in order for me to accompany the delegation?
I'm sure you have other things to do. Diplomacy is not the same thrill as exploration.
Please, Royal Steward, with your permission.
Of course, Neelity. By all means, accompany the delegation.
Fair enough, you've made first contact, you should be there.
Displayed some usefulness thus far. I'm tasking you with joining us in meeting the Royal Steward.
Oh, okay.
We have need of your insights.
Thank you. Look at that. Look at this. Well, he already had his big
Made an
speech.
impression on the expedition commander.
Mr.
I
Meritocracy.
sense you are becoming more central to his plans.
Yeah.
Join the delegation. Watch this royal steward.
Yeah.
I have some experiments.
I'm
to
waiting for
attend
the
to,
shooter drop.
though I shall
You
keep
know,
an eye on you.
everything's a bit too perfect. I mean, hey, maybe it's just gonna be a nice intro. Whatever. Oh yeah, cutting that fine. Wow, how cool do their ships look? I need to dock here, do I? Ah. The Guppy. They've got the best names, man.
Docking granted.
Alright, here we go. Let's see if Scarlet can remember how to do this. Oh, what's this? I go here? I go... Come on. And then stop. Oh, that looks promising. Maybe I need to back up. I'm doing something wrong. Oh, there we go. Ooh, that's cool.
Successfully.
A Boron capital ship. In all my days.
I'm vicariously loving this Bosa Toa
equilibrium of function and
reaction.
ergonomics. And with such flair. My current abode is penurious in comparison.
I'm sorry, Matt. I had to do it to you, but I need to adjust my my mouse controls. Where is it? Accessibility? Was it in controls and I just didn't see it? Control, joystick, sensitivity. Oh, it has a... Wait, no, not controller, joystick. I want mouse sensitivity game. Is it mouse sensitivity? There it is. I'm sorry, team. First person left and right. Direct mouse steer. Oh, the steering's not so bad, to be perfectly honest. That's a good point. But like, we are gutting this sensitivity. Oh, that's a bit better. We might turn it down each episode. We'll see. Dude. Look at this. Wow. Wowzers. What the hell? Oh, look, they float. Hello. Hello. Hello there. Oh, that's so good. Look at him go. Go, little floating R2-D2 sea horseman. I'll let you do what you have to do. Yep, he's gone. Into the incinerator. All right. To the bridge. Oi, we're going to the bridge. Oh, I'm enjoying this, man. I like the little cutscenes. Oh, he must be serious. He's wearing yellow. Orange. Here comes Nantucket.
My ropalium near explodes with the joy of welcoming esteemed
Oh, careful,
visitors.
mate. You should see a doctor about that.
This occasion is the first of its
The
kind.
Ropalian.
I am Lita V, Royal Steward of the Provinces Adrift.
So he's like their
On
king.
behalf of Her Majesty the Queen, and as her loyal servant, it is my profound pleasure to welcome an emissary of the Paranid Empire. And once business is out of the way, I insist you join me on a more informal tour.
Esteemed Royal
Pub crawl.
Steward Lita Wee, thank you for your most gracious welcome.
Oh, that dude's got pink.
You must forgive me. I, Numunkaret, am no Empire emissary.
No, he's a scientist
I
or a scholar.
represent the Alliance of the Word, a diplomatic forum and scientific organization funded by various races across the network.
It's Phoenix Point.
My,
That's who we
my.
are.
But do you have letters patent from the Empire? The provinces adrift are in dire straits. We must negotiate terms of assistance.
I am
Ooh.
compelled to reiterate, I do not speak for the Paranid authorities,
Yeah.
though we do bring news which may bring joy.
Yeah.
We have been in communication with Kingdom End. Limited fragile communication, but communication nevertheless.
Yeah.
Some months ago, we received word from your homeworld. It was heartening to discover that the Boron core has survived the shutdown and learn of their most ambitious endeavor. Their entire scientific resources are focused on understanding and manipulating jump gate technology. We humbly request your permission to investigate the dormant jump gates in your territory and to set up a scientific outpost in the region, should that be required.
There are so many implications to consider.
Yeah.
This really is momentous.
It is, you're not wrong.
I am afraid I must decline your request for now. We
Why?
cannot be precipitous.
By the glistening waters of Nishala.
Yeah. She's not having
I
it.
fail to understand.
Yeah, exactly. What's your problem?
We ask for no more than your permission. We certainly have no wish to be a drain on your resources.
Yeah, exactly.
Leader we. They are trying to connect us with Kingdom End. They
Yeah.
have communications.
Mila T, this obsession with finding home is entirely yours. You may have the luxury of gallivanting around the galaxy in search of miracles, but I have responsibilities. I have the welfare of billions of souls to consider.
Yeah, but we're not gonna
Our
use any
guests have
resources.
already made clear that the outside network, with all its resources, has been unable to connect with our home world. The priority
okay.
at this juncture is the welfare of our people, and I shall not be distracted from that.
Honored host, we will of course expedite communications with the governments of the network. I am sure emissaries are preparing as we speak.
Yeah, I mean...
Yet, if we could simply...
Enough, please. I understand your request, but I do not think you understand what is at stake.
They're in a pretty
Please
bad
have
way.
patience, but for now, the matter is settled.
Yeah.
Outrageous! The Boron Queen's government itself is racing to reconnect, and you decline to facilitate?
He has
What
leverage.
kind of royal steward are you?
He's
Please.
one
There
that's
is
trying to
nothing
look after
be
his
gained
people.
From trading insults.
This is absurd. Our work is of the utmost importance. Your obduracy is beyond me. I shall take my leave.
I understand both sides. This is actually a really well, compelling and written conflict, right? So this dude,
That certainly could have gone better.
even though they're
But boy,
deceptively
not
cute,
fast.
this dude is protecting his people, right? Oh wow, look at all this, right? That's his sort of dictate. And he's desperate to save his people. They're in a really bad way. And so now he's been handed a wonderful, miraculous breakthrough, momentous event, but there's leverage in it, right? So he's like, no, I know you're just a scientist middleman, but you're still essentially the emissary, right? We are still the first contact people, even if we don't strictly represent. Hang on, I want to finish my point. So what he's doing is he's leveraging what little position he has. No, I'm not going to let you do this. It could have been a little bit more explicit as to the conditional, right? He should have been like, you know what I would do? I would give you permission if you, once we guarantee that we're getting supplies for my people, right? So that's clearly what he wants. That's clearly what he's trying to do. And instead Nantucket's gotten upset. But what Nantucket needs to be doing is playing the political game, getting on the phone with all the ambassadors. He probably is doing it, even though he's cranky. And getting all the sort of, the UN aid into this sector so that, even though that's a good thing to do and it will be done, but he needs to expedite it so that he keeps old King Jellyfish happy and also he gets his scientific access. Anyway, I think it's really cool. The only thing is, because, like I said, the affectations, what would be the best term? Yeah, that might be it. The way that the little jellyfish people talk, it's like, that dude's a bit of a Game of Thrones political fiend, I think. But it's hard to it doesn't really come across because he sounds like he's off of Sesame Street. Anyway.
Determined that this system poses no threat to the citizens of Sol or the wider network. Our orders are to deploy to a position of more strategic importance.
Crew quarters.
Still, stay alert. None of us know what might be lurking out there.
The Alliance of the Ward thanks you for your support.
Oh, he's the captain of the escort.
Our military friends are needed elsewhere.
Alright, so the military's peeling off. Wow, how cool is this place? This is great. Alright, mediate between the parties. Okay, so...
The steward and I have had our differences in the past, but I had no idea he
I thought that was
so
pink.
stubborn.
Wait, you turned orange? Alright, so Neela T. Oh, it's changing different colours. Look at you. He's tricked out. It's Need for Speed equivalent. He's tricked his car out. What a legend. Alright, so this dude really wants to get home and he's an adventurer.
I'm so very sorry you had to witness that embarrassingly
No, I kind of get it, to be honest.
Leader we and
I would have done it
disagree
different,
on
but I
much,
get it.
But he is not a bad person. You know, he is just scared.
I think he just cares about his people, and he would rather be a political fiend that is hated by the other people, other political delegates, in the name of saving his people. What is he afraid of? Your quest for home is an obsession. Well, I'll ask it, but I think it answers itself. As he pointed out, the entire might of the known X4 galaxy, all the peoples, everyone that they've been cut off from, has not been able to open the gate to home yet. So why would they suddenly be able to do it now? I can understand from a numbers game the skepticism of that prospect and why he would be dismissive, right? And think that it's a fool's errand.
Oh, you took note of that, did you? Time after time, I approach Leader Wee for the resources to find our way back home.
Yeah, but he doesn't have them.
He has come to the conclusion that efforts spent on this endeavor come at an immediate cost to our people.
Yeah.
I would hate for you to get the impression that I do not care for my fellow Boron here. Out on the fringes, I am truly seeking to make a difference for the people.
No, of course.
Serving the Queen's subjects is a duty for me. You see, I do not like to draw too much attention to it, but I myself am the progeny of stranded minor royals.
Ooh,
Before you bow
big
or
flex.
anything like that, I am not part of the direct line of succession, and that is not how our monarchy works in any case. Yet, it drives me to find a path back home.
Sure.
For the people to once again
It's in your
delight
blood.
in a reunited, merry realm.
Yeah. Yeah. My thought on the style, the dialogue, because and I've already ranted a little bit about it. I'm kind of gushing because writing is just so terrible in modern games, in AAA games especially. It's just garbage. It feels like an entire generation was skipped, or they just got taken out of the backyard and shot, because writing in games 10 years ago was infinitely better than it is now, right? But the most important thing here is both sides. The let's explore and find our people, or let's not do that and protect our people with what little resources we have. They're both right. You might not agree with both of them personally, but they're not. There's no bad guy, and that is the best conflict. Is when you have two sides with understandable motivations and they are at odds with each other, because there's no clear moralistic high ground here. I think it's good. It's really good, and it's honestly it's basic. I shouldn't have to gush about this sort of writing. This should just be normal. All right, what's he afraid of?
He is scared of falling short.
100%.
Carries the weight of the expectations of the entire provinces.
What is that in the
He
background?
wants to keep everyone safe, and I think he fears that your expedition will exacerbate an already dangerous situation.
Couldn't have said it better myself. 100%.
Pleasant travels.
All right. We need to mediate. I just spoke
Hello
to you.
again,
I don't think you've
Explorer.
got anything else to say to me, do you? Dangerous situation. Oh.
Yes, fraught with danger.
Absolutely.
The provinces lie uncomfortably close to Kark territory. When Sanctuary of Darkness first connected
Not
to
the
provinces,
Karks.
it triggered regular attacks. We barely managed to protect ourselves with the meager military that we could cobble together.
Sure,
Thankfully,
okay.
The waves have calmed for now. The Kark excursions eventually ceased.
Oh my
All
God.
attempts to communicate with
Oh,
these enigmatic
no.
creatures have failed. So I would hesitate to call it a ceasefire. It is more of a lull in hostilities.
Yeah,
As
right.
you can imagine, the situation remains rather fragile.
Okay. Interesting.
Pleasant travels.
How come I've still got an arrow to you?
Hello again, Explorer.
Hello. What is he afraid of? Quest. Dangerous situation.
Yes, fraught with danger.
Yeah, see,
The
we already
provinces
spoke
lie
about. Oh, I
uncomfortably
can't
close to Kark
skip it.
territory. When Sanctuary of Darkness
Tell
first
me more
connected
about
to
the
provinces,
Karks.
It triggered regular
Alright.
attacks. We barely managed to protect ourselves.
I'm enjoying
The
this, having to
meager military
mediate.
that
I
we
had
could
no
cobble
idea what this was
together.
going to be.
Thankfully, the waves have calmed for now. The Kark excursions eventually ceased. All attempts to communicate with these enigmatic creatures have failed. So I would hesitate to call it a ceasefire. It is more of a lull in hostility.
It's so cool
As
to
you can
see
imagine,
the
situation
DLCs
remains rather
add
fragile.
such interesting, and essentially every time they add a better written, better story to it. Because if you ever played the games
Pleasant
originally,
travels.
X4 in its launch state, that was the thing. It's bare bones story at a smaller scale. I don't like that it's just arrow pointing me to there. Because I had some other options, didn't I? Mediate between the parties to find a solution. Neela T offered to introduce you to the Royal Oh yeah, no, of course. Yeah, this mission mark is not very helpful. Because I think bridge. You know what? Let's go back to the bridge. We'll have a chat with Big Dog. Dude, how cool is this architecture? Oh wow, we're going somewhere. Where are we going? Oh my god, where have we gone? The Great Reef? I guess this dude had business to do and I'm going along with him. Righto. Hey, the monarch waits for no one, or whatever he is. Are you okay, man?
I regret my approach at our meeting. You see, I have not hosted a diplomatic function in decades.
No, I get it. You're desperate.
I'm simply not in the habit of communicating with anyone other than
and Rusty.
You see, we Boron converse amongst ourselves, relying on complex structures of pheromones, not just mere words.
Oh, really?
There was so
How's that
much
work in
to
your suit?
communicate, so much to cogitate upon, yet the words failed to convey my meaning. You must imagine it like painting an ocean, yet having only a single shade of blue with which to do so.
No, I get it. That's, yeah, fair enough. Perhaps we reconvene and try again.
You are correct, of course. There is no harm in reaching for common ground.
All right,
I am
yeah.
embarrassed to say that our defensive capabilities are woefully inadequate. Ashamedly so. Our economy is so fractured. We struggle to construct anything larger, perhaps, than a frigate. We
Right.
cannot even resource and operate a full-scale shipyard.
Wow, that's
For
pretty
half
bad.
a century of isolation, we Boron have had little need for a comprehensive military. I fear that we are wholly unprepared for the myriad dangers lurking beyond the gate. And
Well.
should word spread of the valuable equipment and facilities proposed by the Alliance of the
Oh,
World,
look at
it
that.
might be
That's the
akin
other
to
layer.
painting a target upon ourselves for any nefarious actors in the vicinity.
There you go. There's another layer to
I
it.
have, even now, received word of split incursions. If we had anything of value to loot, we would not be discussing skirmishes. They would descend upon us in hordes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... And again, about the writing, it was clever enough to have this as his motive, because the other thing about modern writers are so desperate to show you that their handicraft is good, right? It's like, hey, this is the point I'm making. See? Don't you get it? And they make it so browbeaty. I'm not even necessarily saying ideologically. I haven't got a great example off the top of my head. But they take all subtlety and nuance out of the ability for the reader to intuit on their own and read between the lines, as it were, right? So the good example in this is that this dude has flat out refused, and like Nantucket, from his perspective, he's fired up and he's really angry, but he doesn't understand. And at least we, as viewers, respect that this dude has some sort of motivation, and now we're learning it, but the game didn't feel that it had to belt us over the head that this dude's main concern is, by putting valuable equipment in the sector, we paint a target on ourselves. So that's my point, that we got to it, but the game let us get to it ourselves by, talking. Oh, it's very good. But again, like I said, this shouldn't be praiseworthy. This should just be normal. Why are you in this situation?
From time to time, I spend the waking nights pondering the very same question. It would be misleading to cast blame for all our miseries on the Great Shutdown. In fact, when we were first riven from the wider network, The vast majority of our Boron systems remained connected between themselves.
Okay.
Isolated from external threats, we commenced a new age of reflection and scientific endeavor. And while this period of peace brought the wealth of Kingdom N to fabulous new heights, we were not complacent. Resources were stockpiled throughout the Queendom, a precautionary measure.
Right.
Oh, we thought we were prepared.
Oh.
Yet in truth, we were far from it. We Boron are inherently connected to each other, you see? We thrive on a collective sort of innate affinity.
Okay.
Once that connection was severed, each system found itself in complete isolation. Things fell apart quite quickly, I'm afraid to say. Productivity collapsed catastrophically.
Right.
Stockpiles were depleted far more rapidly than anticipated, and there was no way to replenish them. After years of disarray, Great Reef finally reconnected with barren shores.
I love all the
Later, it was
nautical
joined by
themes.
several other systems. The provinces adrift were founded, but by then the damage was done. We still
Right.
lacked crucial resources. I contend that it was the collective psychological toll of the severance that caused this, more
Yeah.
so than the evident logistical challenges posed by the shutdown.
So my understanding of that, to use an analogy, would be like in modern era, if because you know how useless a lot of modern people are, they can't even change a tire or whatever. They can't function without their phone. Like, as much as the internet and Google and all that are really helpful tools, they become a crutch. So if you suddenly took the internet away from us, I think you would have a lot of serious collapses in a lot of areas, because a lot of people just don't really have the skill set to survive without it, which is kind of yuck. But, you know, I think that's not a bad analogy for exactly what he's explaining, though this would be more psychological and emotional support based, that they're all used to being connected to each other on their sort of their innate connection or whatever it was. Okay, perhaps there is a positive solution. Are you okay? Can I actually leave this dialogue? I can? Okay, cool, right, because we're running out of clock. I know I'm sort of taking time to unpack and translate and all that, but I'm actually having a really good time. I was expecting to be flying around, building spaceships and all that, but instead we're in some diplomatic intrigue with all parties being understandable, and we're sort of trying to mediate. That's exactly what we're doing. This is wonderful. Anyway, team, let me know if you want to see some more, because it looks like the first episode was very well received, and as expected, to be honest. And I hope you guys are buckled in as well, because I want to go hard in the paint on this. All right, team, we might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.